Hey everyone, this is Bliss98 and we are kicking off my Rise of the Beast builds with Mirage. And before we start, a little disclaimer: if you're watching this in the future, this video was made before the movie came out, so what you see here might not perfectly be accurate to the movie. And I decided to start with Mirage for my Rise of the Beast builds, simply because he has the most reference material right now. He has a full TV spot dedicated to him, as well as some 360 turnaround views. And just like with The Last Knight and a little bit of Bumblebee, I think I'm going to try to make most of the major characters in the movie. I have no set plans of who I'm going to make, who I'm not going to make, so that will always change. And Mirage was a very tricky design to tackle just because of how slim his robot mode is. And he took about 2 weeks to make, and I'm really happy how he turned out, even if there are some compromises in both modes. And just like with my recent builds, there are free PDF instructions on Rebrickable, links in the description below. And to start, here he is in his Porsche 911 mode, and this thing is pretty slick. It was a very fun car to try to capture. And taking a closer look, the front's a bit messy. It's kind of not as smooth as I would want, but that's fine. You got the bumpers, the two lights, and the mirrors. And then the whole side of the car back here is really smooth, as well as the top. And you got the spoilers and the lights back here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this center light to line up with these two on the side, but that's okay. And then you got the stripe in the middle on the side, as well as on the spoiler, which is, I like the spoiler too. And there's a little small gap here, but that's for transformation. And then the bottom is also pretty clean. These are obviously arms, and there's a lot of hollow space, so he does a kind of mash shift a little bit. And like with my recent Carbots, he rolls, of course. And unfortunately, these rear sections are in little struts, so they will kind of wiggle out of place. But I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for rolling. And for a size comparison, here he is with the minifigure and Ravage. Like with my other Carbots, he is slightly smaller than minifigure scale. Here he is with Studio Series Crosshairs. And with my 2007 old Camaro B. I'd imagine my Rise of the Beast B, when I make him, will be pretty much the same size as this guy. And they're about the same length exactly. I don't think that's quite accurate. I believe the Porsche 911 is slightly smaller, but I think that's fine. And now for the transformation. It is quite fun, surprisingly, and doesn't have too many clearance issues. And it's very similar to my Volkswagen B in the upper body, except it is much more stable and less finicky. And to start, you want to fold the spoiler pieces back like this. And then you want to just remove the headlights like that. And then coming onto the bottom here, these two sections are important tabs that hold the whole car together, so you just gotta push them out like this. And then you want to rotate the arms up, and then as this is loose, you want to take these rear window sections back, and you're gonna fold and open up the legs a little bit, and that's gonna reveal the head. And then you keep folding this up, and you kind of pretty much have the legs and the upper body. And next you want to come over to the back here, take this center of the rear section, fold it up between these spoiler bits. And for clearance, you want to pull the rear lights as far out as possible on this joint. And then bringing all this down, you want to wiggle the legs like that and like that. And then we're going to work on the legs. And for the legs here, you want to rotate the wheel in like this, and rotate all this to the front here. Take this mirror and shift it forward a little bit, and that'll give you the, then you can move this section down like this. Shift this to the middle, and take the side mirror, rotate this, and just tuck it in. Fold this panel down, and rotate this to become the foot. And then coming into the back here, you want to take the wheel here and rotate it like this, and then rotate it again and collapse it to the back of the leg. And then now this section here becomes the little butt plate he has, and you center that, and then you have the clearance to bring it down even further. And same for the other side. Shift that, And you want to bend the wheel in like that, and then you're going to rotate, fold, and then you want to center it, fold it up, and then coming into the back, and you fold this down, and then you fold this, the butt, and then center this again, and he should be able to stand now. And our front one detail is to fold this grill section down so it's where it should be on the CGI model. And then for the body, you want to just fold all this up, and this rack, this strut here is going to come in contact with the front of the spoiler, and once that's there, it's going to allow this section to sit flat. He's still a little back heavy. And then you want to take these side sections, rotate them outwards, and like that. And then you want to take the windows here and rotate them so they sit like that, and then you rotate them again. And now this section is going to fold down, and you want to actually rotate this forward ever so slightly, and this is the front windshield. It's going to push ever so slightly like that, and then you can fold this hinge down and set the head in place. He's still pretty back heavy. And then coming to the back here, this middle panel is all going to fold down, and this is going to bend forward, and this is going to fit into this little gap formed where the spoiler folds up like that. And for the shoulder and wheel sections, you kind of want to wiggle this out ever so slightly so you can bend the light forward, and now you free up the clearance to rotate these wheels up, and then these are just going to fold to the back, and same for the side like that. Once you're done, you push that back in, and you rotate the wheel and fold to the back. Then finally we work on the arms and chest section, and these arm sections are going to kind of rotate to the outside here. It's held in by a single stud, but I think it's fine for a small build like this, like that and like that. And you want to bring all this forward here, and coming to the chest to make everything compact nicely, it's on a bar, and you want to push it all the way up, and then you want to take the lights, and actually you want to rotate all this up for now and push it past the lights here just for a little clearance like that. And these sections are going to come down, and you want to make sure all this doesn't get caught where this side windshield is, like that. And these are just going to come together, and then you want to rotate this and then rotate again at the elbow, and you turn the shoulder like that. And in the final step, I think this part is really neat. You want to keep this kind of where they should be. Since it's on these rounded plates, you have to take this whole assembly and just wiggle it forward until the bumper hits the center part where the head is. Just like that. And then you can straighten up the head and reposition the shoulders and get the wheels into position and put the lights over the shoulders. And then you can split the chest to give it a little angle. And yeah, there you go. And here's Mirage in his robot mode. And yeah, spinning him around, I really like how he turned out. This design really stumped me for a while, especially with the legs, but I'm glad there's not too much extra kibble on him. And taking a closer look at him, he's a little bit chunkier than what you see in the CGI model. I like the design. Like I like how you can see almost most of the car parts on him, but the only things that aren't too visible is like the bulk of the panels, like where there's like a lot of the roof and the side doors and everything just disappears. Yep, and then his head is a simple Travis brick head, like my other bots. And then the chest is the actual front of the car, which I like. I even got the lights on his shoulders, like in the model. And you got some detail, like the round thing on his chest. And the legs, I'm really happy how they turned out. The little thigh area should be a lot thinner, but I think that's a compromise considering this part and the bottom of his feet make up the bulk of the side of the car. I even got the little grille detail, and this section is the reverse of the back windshield. And then the only extra kibble I would consider, these side mirrors should not be here, but that's fine. And then coming to the back here, you got the wheels on the back of his thighs. And we do actually get a good shot of his back in the trailer, as you see here, and I think I did a good job with the details. You got the lights on his butt on these panels here. I think they stick out farther than they should be. He looks pretty caked up over here. And this center part of the light should actually be moved farther up, but I think it's fine sitting there. And this back panel kind of represents his spine, and then the wheels are just sitting here. While the back looks accurate, this stuff kind of sticks out a little far back because I couldn't just have panels randomly disappear. And for articulation, his head can of course turn. And due to transformation, he has an extra joint here, so he can kind of look up and down. And then you can move the lights out of the way to help with arm articulation. It's pretty simple. And then of course you can rotate at the elbow. And one extra joint, because of the transformation, you can kind of move it side to side, so you can have it go forward a little bit. Unfortunately, he can't cross his arms like he does in the trailer, I think, or TV spot. And then nothing at the waist because it's all like panels. And then his legs can rotate forward a little bit. Can't kick too much, just some kibble getting in the way. They can't bend too much either. And there's a little feet rotation, but there's no ankle tilt because of how this works. So it's okay for articulation. And you can get him to look a little more dynamic than just standing straight. And for accessories, and one thing we never really got to see in the trailers or TV spots is him fighting or using any weapons. But I decided to give him this little hand cannon because this is what his Studio Series and Mainline Deluxe toys have. I'm not even sure if the details are accurate, but this will just slot over his hand, and yeah, it's kind of like Bumblebee. You got a little blaster like that. And yeah, if this turns out to be inaccurate, I'll make an updated version of his weapons or whatever he uses. And for a size comparison, we have Ravage and a minifigure. And getting the elephant out of the room here. Unfortunately, Mirage is a little too big, even for minifigure scale. We clearly see him with a human, and yeah, this guy is a little bit oversized, and as a result, I tried to focus more on detail rather than trying to squish everything down and make him exactly size accurate. And here he is with Studio Series crosshairs and the green Gundam. And here he is next to my old Camaro B, which is about the height I would want for my Rise of the Beast B. And they're about head to head, which I don't believe is accurate. We don't have much of a scale chart yet, but I believe Mirage is a much shorter character. And I think the scale is fine though. And finally, here is Mirage next to the rest of my Rise of the Beast Autobots. We have Bumblebee, RC, Optimus Prime, and Wheeljack. Wait, something doesn't look right here. Oh, okay, I know now. I just forgot to give Wheeljack his glasses. And that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed Mirage here. It's always fun when the new Transformers movies come out and I get some new designs to work with. And this guy was quite a challenge based on how slim and compact his robot mode is. But I think I pulled it off really well in both modes, even though his biggest issue is that his scale isn't perfectly right. But you know, you can't always have everything in life. And once again, his free instructions are available on Rebrickable, and the links in the description below. And I'm very excited to see how he would be in the movie. It seems like he'll be a very major character. And yeah, and that is it for this video. Once again, I will be continuing with more Rise of the Beast builds, so stay on the lookout for that.